This is a really comforting vegetarian dish that you can put in the centre of the table and let the whole family tuck into. This veggie bake has a base of rice, which we're going to cook off in salted water and then enrich with cheese and eggs. We'll top it with roasted squash, some charred courgette and pine nuts. Okay, so lots of different layers. To start with though, the rice, salted boiling water, that's going to go in there for about 9 or 10 minutes. If you give that one stir, just so the grains don't stick together. And then the squash. So this is a big beast. We're only going to need some of this today. And we need to start the process off by roasting it in the oven. So I reckon that's probably going to be enough.
Oh, that's a tough old squash.
There we go, we're there.
I'm glad.
So all I'm going to do is cut off this very thick skin, and while I'm doing that, if you can take some herbs and just strip them all back and chop them up nice and fine.
Yep.
Because we're going to put them into this tray with the squash in a moment.
I love squash. Squash soup I've made before, that was nice.
I find it really comforting.
We had that squash Wellington.
Put that squash in there, you can put all your herbs in as well.
Do I not need to chop these up?
No, rough and ready is good. A generous glug of oil, and if you can just kind of toss all that together. Bit of salt and pepper.
It smells, those herbs.
Makes such a difference. Hard herbs,
Ooh.
so rosemary and thyme as opposed to the softer herbs, they work
100.
perfectly. And then if you put that into an oven, it needs about 200 degrees, quite a hot oven, for 20 minutes or so, just to start the cooking process.
Shall I do that now?
Please do. And next up, Mike, we're going to look at our courgette. So I've got a cast iron griddle pan, getting nice and hot over there, and I just want you to cut slices about like that, all the way along.
I can do that. Are we going to griddle pan these?
Yes.
So they're going to be all nice, liney,
Which is the
grilled.
presentation thing, but it also adds
Great.
flavour. Some oil in a bowl. As ever with vegetables, more seasoning, salt and pepper, and then put all of those courgette slices in there. And just season them up in this oil. And once you're happy that the pan is nice and hot, and you've got a good sizzle, then these ones, now they're all tossed in that seasoned oil, they can go into the pan. So if you can just put them all in there like that.
Does the oil just stop them sticking? That's the
Stops them sticking, and it helps char on those places. Plus it's seasoned oil, so it is extra flavour as well. I'm going to finely peel and slice onion and garlic. So 1 onion, 2 cloves of garlic. Both of those can go into another pan. Then you just put a shot of oil in there. And you want to slowly soften those, so fry a little bit, but nice and soft and sweet. We'll add those to the rice in a minute. We can turn our courgettes over now, get the same charring on the other side.
I love courgettes. I normally put sprinkle a little bit of garlic salt on them.
Garlic salt, a little bit of chilli oil, really nice.
Never done that.
Some people don't treat it as a vegetable. They'll put it in things, but they won't serve it as a vegetable on their own. I think they're absolutely amazing.
Yeah, and it's so dense and stuff that when you put it in something like this, it's got a completely different flavour, so it's almost a substitute for meat for us non-vegetarians who are looking for something a bit different. Don't always need meat, do you?
They should say you should have vegetarian once a week.
Really?
It's cheaper and it's good for your diet.
Well, there you have it.
Just before we drain our rice, we need to grate up some parmesan to put in it. So if you can do a huge, great big pile of parmesan just down onto the board, fine grater so it melts really quickly into that rice. Now we can take our courgettes out of the pan, charred on both sides. It always looks so
Have you got enough
nice.
cheese?
Plenty, in fact lots. Yeah, you can stop there. Sorry.
Yeah. I don't even like parmesan.
You're getting a bit carried away there. Nearly there, we'll just drain our rice. And I think there's a bowl in front of us, the same one we used to marinate our courgettes. All of that rice can go in there, the same seasoned oil.
Save on washing up.
Give that a good mix up with a good handful of cheese. Loads of cheese. Wow.
So this is just going to melt and stick the rice together.
Yep.
Nice.
So what we're now going to do is let that rice cool down for 5 or 10 minutes. Let everything else cool down. Let our squash continue to cook for the same amount of time, and then we can pile up our laid bake. Now that the rice has cooled down enough, we can crack in both eggs, and if you can mix those in. You don't want to put them in when it's too hot, because they'll kind of scramble. What it does is make the rice really kind of rich in the bottom of the dish.
You got cheese and eggs.
Cheese and eggs, and all of that onion garlic mix as well. So give that a quick stir up while I get the squash out of the oven. Look at that, beautifully roasted squash.
Well, yeah,
You like
don't
the smell
stick
of it?
in my eyeball.
I want you to smell it.
Yeah,
It smelled good before, it smells even better now. All of that rice mix into our baking dish. At this point, a whole layer of courgettes,
Look at those nines.
like so, and plenty of this roasted squash over there as well. Couldn't be simpler, couldn't be tastier.
There's loads of protein in that.
And even more as we add our pine nuts. We said only need a handful. They just go on top. a little bit more cheese, and then that can go back into our oven for 10 minutes until it's nice and golden on top. The nuts are beautiful, and then we can serve. There we go, there's not a lot more I can add to that. It's our rice veg bake sorted. Funny feeling this can be pretty hot, but grab some of that. It's hot, but it's worth the burn.
Worth the burn. It's hot. But it's also pretty freaking good.
It's got kind of all those same flavours you get from risotto, but so much easier.
Yeah, this squash is really nice and soft. It's lovely.
We are doing so many other recipes at the moment that if you like us on Facebook, you can stay up to date and not miss a thing.